Connect. Oh, mommy is here. Good evening, ma.
Good evening. How are you
So
doing
I'm
today?
fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, ma. It's such a great honor to have you. Thank you so much for giving us your time at such a time as this. Out of your very busy schedule, you were able to make out time for us. We want to say thank you so much from the SheCan community. We want to say we love you. Thank you. And we're really looking forward. We're so excited that today we'll be learning a whole lot from you, the guru herself. So, Ma, today we are,
Thank
like I was
you.
telling everyone before you came in, that they should all rush and get their pen and their diary because we will be learning from you today. So, Ma, basically, we know that what's happening right now with the COVID, this is a pandemic that we all have not experienced in our lifetime before, but this has really hit everybody globally and in Nigeria as well. And we know that this has somehow affected the way we live our lives. It has affected our relationships, how we relate to one another, considering that even when God created us, he didn't create us to just be alone. But right now, we all have to run away from our fellow being when we see them, our colleagues, our friends and family. That's one. Secondly, also, a lot of people, a lot of cases, a lot of people have reached out to us as a community. A lot of cases we've also heard globally and in Nigeria that is happening right now for domestic violence. And aside domestic violence, that a lot of couples are currently going through the worst time in their marriage. We thought before now, since a lot of people have been working and have been so busy, now that we have a holiday, it would bring people together. But it looks like the opposite is the case because we've been receiving a lot of cases. So we want to know how this COVID has really, really impacted on relationships. One, as a single person, as a family person, as a married person, and the general audience as well. So, Ma, over to you, and we would ask you a few questions as the time goes by. So, because a lot of people have sent in their questions for you.
Ooh,
Yes, Ma.
okay. I want to say thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you,
must
Ma.
let you know that you are beautiful.
Oh, thank you
You're
so much,
beautiful
Ma.
and
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you,
I know God
Ma.
is proud of you, but I am
Thank
also
you.
proud of you. And I'm sure women
Thank you, Ma.
of you.
Thank you,
Well
Ma.
done. God
Thank you.
bless
Thank
you.
you so much. Amen.
Such a
Amen.
great privilege and honor for me to be here. And I want to thank all of you that are loving me. I love you back, right back home. I can see the comments and all that. Thank you so very much. Um, the Bible says there is nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
We've had a situation like this before, and we had it. I wasn't alive then, you were not alive in
Yes.
1919. A year like this occurs once in 100 years. So if
Wow.
Jesus tarries, the next time we're going to have an experience like this would be 2121.
Wow.
It's a very peculiar year. And incidentally, there was also an infection in
Yes.
1919.
Yes.
2020, such years are very, very, very rare, very peculiar, once in a lifetime. You
Wow.
notice that the year repeats itself, 2020.
Yes.
It's a leap year. That's a year when you leap, you're supposed to make more progress. You're supposed to
Yeah.
have more success. It's a very fantastic year. And you notice that no matter how poor a city is, there will always be a money lender.
Yeah.
So no matter the situation, while some people are complaining and murmuring, some people are making it. It's their
Yes.
best season in
Yes.
marriage, in business, in
Mm-hmm.
ministry, in whatever.
True.
So it is what you make out of it that becomes your portion. Because when we talk about recession, for instance, it is not that the money went to the sea. It is just redistribution of money.
Yeah.
So every wise person learns from every experience. And
Wow.
no experience is meant to be a waste. Not
Yeah.
one. COVID-19 is not an exception. It's an experience. And many
Yeah.
people are asking questions. Some are confused. Some are disillusioned and all that. But our lives are based on the word of God. The Bible says that all things work together for good. Anything can happen,
Amen.
but nothing can shake that word. All things plus everything minus anything. All
Yeah.
things work together for good.
For good.
So it's working together for our good. If
Amen.
only we can look and we can think and we can see and we can take. So, looking at the scriptures, I like the amplified version of the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 4, and verse 8. From verse 8 to 12, it says, a
Yeah.
solitary person, Ecclesiastes 4, 8 to 12, a solitary person completely alone, no children, no family, no friends, yet walking obsessively late into the night, compulsively greedy for more and more, never
Wow.
bothering to ask, why am I walking like a dog, never having any fun? And who cares? More spoke about business. Verse 9, it is better to have a partner than go it alone.
Wow.
Share the work, share the wealth. And if one falls down, the other helps. But if there is no one to help, tough. Two in a
Wow.
bed warm each other. Alone, you shiver all night. Powerful, amplified version.
Powerful. Yes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So, in relation to our subject of discussion, the impacts on relationships,
Yes, ma'am.
COVID-19 has two sides, the positive and the negative. So, I'm going to dwell on the positive,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
it should be. Number one, it is a season for reevaluation and appraisal. As a couple or as a person. If you look at the Bible very, very well, anytime there is a closed door, things happen behind the scene. Things always happen behind the scene. For instance, when that woman in 2 Kings was pouring the oil, she shut the door. So she was pouring the oil. Anytime there is a closure, anytime there is a closed door, something is happening behind the scene. When Jesus was going to heal Jairus' daughter, he drove the people out and shut the door. Same thing with Elijah. So the time when the doors are shut is not to be a wasted time. Things are happening behind the scene. People are strategizing. People are thinking. A research says that 93% of people in the world only do mental work. They don't think. They do mental activity. Only 3% think that they are thinking. It's only 2% that really think. So when the doors are closed, it's a time for you to reassess. It's for self-appraisal. You reappraise your life, your destiny. You reappraise the relationships in your life. Things must happen behind the door. Don't waste this time because things are happening. It's a reality. It's a fact. So you reevaluate. There are some people you should delete their numbers. The reason you've not been able to do that is because you didn't have this window of opportunity to think. I have blocked 237 people on my phone.
Wow. Wow.
Time wasters. People that distract my focus.
Wow.
You need to reappraise, self-audit. Whether you are single or you are married, self-audit. Are you just existing or you are truly living? Because before you have a time like this again, it will be 100 years and you are likely to be in heaven at that time.
True.
So self-audit, reappraise. It affords us the opportunity to reevaluate, appraise the impact of every relationship in your life. And you have to be very honest with the assessment because every relationship should add value to you. If somebody does not make you his or her priority, then you should make them your option, not your priority. So any relationship where your absence will not matter, your presence cannot matter. If
Wow.
you exit their lives
Wow.
and nothing happens, nothing changes, they don't miss you, then your presence in their life is a waste of time. Singles in particular, please understand this. So, and as a couple, every relationship must add value to you. If it's not adding value to you, it is draining you. So be very, 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 very honest. Sit down, self-audit. How is this person adding value to you? I was sharing with some married women recently, and I said, if your husband were to repay your dowry, will he reduce it or increase it? Because as you are thinking, the man is also thinking at this time. The man is also reevaluating the relationship. What value have you added to me since I met you? What value? So, relationships that drain you are relationships you should reevaluate and get out of. Get out of them. As a couple, appraise. How are you doing? How are you doing? How is your relation? Is this where you wanted to be? You had wanted to be? Is this what you really want in your life? Then you discuss. Also, number 2 is a time of adjustment. You see, people in our lives condition us without our permission. And you don't know how conditioned you have been until you start to excavate. You don't know. You discover that as a person, you need permission from people before you can do anything, before you can spend your money, before you can do whatever you like. You must always need permission because that's how you have been conditioned. And this is the time to think and adjust. Think and adjust. For instance, in a marriage relationship, the word submission has been so abused, particularly in the African setting, that once you make up your mind to begin to adjust, because the world, the society labels what the society does not understand. They will start calling you names. She's too bold. She's too cocky. He's too this. He's too that. But that should not disturb you. It shouldn't hinder you. Do not hand over the driver's seat of your life to anybody. Your primary purpose in life is your purpose. And your purpose is you. Your primary purpose in life is your purpose, and your purpose is you. Every other relationship, marriage, friendship, children, parents, is secondary. You are the primary. It is secondary. So it's a time of adjustment. Some of you need to adjust emotionally. You've allowed people to be in charge enough for too long. You need to take charge of your life. You're not a slave. This is sad. You know, I have a home for women that are in abusive relationship. Men are also in abusive relationship, but women are more. One woman, because we have a criminologist that interviews the people, the clients before we admit them. One lady said anytime there was a misunderstanding, her husband would call her, "You goat, you pig, kneel down there." She will kneel down, close your eyes, face the wall, and raise your hands up. True life story in Lagos, Nigeria, not in my village.
Oh no.
And they have 3 kids.
So
when she was asked, "Wow, so why are you still there?" She said, "Where will I go? I don't have money. How will I do my life?" So when I tell women, be economically empowered, and some abuse me, I don't feel offended because it's because they don't understand. They've been conditioned to think that
to
once
think
you get
otherwise.
married, your life must be dependent on your husband. Don't raise your children that way. So somebody said it happens worldwide. You see, that is the first answer to domestic violence. Because a lot of people are in relationships, abusive relationships, because they don't have a way to sustain themselves. Their life, they are parasites. Their lives are dependent on the people. So they can't even think about it. So whatever, free is a trap. Free is a trap. So whatever they get, that's what they get. So it's a time for adjustment. Number 3 is also a time for forgiveness. It's a time for forgiveness. Yes. I read a book some time ago. It says, forgive, but only fools forget. The title attracted me. I was at the airport in America. I ran to pick that book. There are things you can't forget. It's true, except you're foolish. You can't forget your husband, cheated on you. Your wife cheated on you. You can't forget.
You can't
But
forget.
See,
I agree.
wise people forgive. How do you know you are forgiven? Because when, for instance, cheating, adultery takes place, everybody involved goes through 5 stages, particularly the person that was cheated on. You go through 5 stages. If your husband cheats on you, number 1, you go through shock. Oh, it's a lie. What? Number 2, you go through denial. He can't do it. It's my babe. Babe, is it true that you did it? It's not possible. Number 3, you go through grief. You just see yourself crying. Hot, you just you go to the bathroom. And these are phases. It can take years. Just like a widow or a widower. And then you go through healing. Then you go through restoration. So how do you know you have forgiven and you have healed? How do you have forgiven? Somebody's laughing. Babe, is that not what you do for yourself? How do you know you are healed? When you remember and you don't have pains, that's when you know you are healed. So it's a time for healing. So COVID-19 has advantages. It has brought us, this lockdown has brought us opportunities to forgive people. Do you know that unforgiveness, bitterness, these are some of the causes of cancer? People will offend you. It is the person you sleep together on the same bed with that you will roll over. That's what they say in my village. You will roll over. So as long as you are in your space, you will offend. But you must learn to forgive. You must move from shock, from denial, from grief. Once in a while you feel like crying, go ahead and cry, but don't make tears your food. And then you must heal, and then there must be restoration. Why do you know restoration is here? When you no longer say, July 31st last year, you remember you did it. When you stop celebrating the anniversary of the person's offense, you know you are restored. Number 4, it is the time to reinvigorate. You add some fun to your marriage, to your relationship. You reinvigorate. And then number 5, you build with a future in mind. In my village, they say if a small child falls, the small child will look at the front. If an elderly person falls down, he looks at the back. What led us here? What led to the adultery? Does it have to do with communication? Is it because I didn't dress to please you? Is it because every time you wanted sex, I was always sick? And what's the nature of my sickness? My head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes, everywhere. Is that the reason you need to talk? Or is it because the fool in me just strayed? You need to discuss. And build with the future in mind. If you want that relationship to be profitable, you build with the future in mind. This is the time. And number 6 is the time to heal and recover. Healing is a balm to your heart and soul. It's a conduit of refreshing for burnout. So just a touch. In our hands alone, we have over 5 million touch receptors. So just a touch can increase your chance of recovery. Just a word of assurance from a friend can crush your fears. Because truly 2 are better than 1. It's a time for discovery. Discovery. Who are you? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about things I didn't know existed before. It's a time of reflection. I'm going to wake up now and discover that I am a 2. Is this how I want to continue my life? It's a time for reflection. Number 9, it's a time for compulsory rest. Even without COVID-19, factories deliberately shut down for a turnaround, maintenance. Vehicles and machines are serviced. So It's a time for compulsory rest. Some people have been working all day. They are walking corpses. If
Yeah.
not for COVID-19, they would have just dropped dead.
True.
Dropped dead somewhere. So it's a time, and it's a time as a married person, it's a time to love the more on your spouse. Married
Yeah.
couple, your sex life should get better. Time of bonding, and finally, it's a time you connect with your children. Do you know that some children, before they wake up, their parents are gone? House helps have been taking care of them. Before the parents return, they are asleep. Some, it is during this COVID time that some children say, "Ah, Daddy, so this is how you look like. Mommy, so this is you." Because if not for COVID-19, they wouldn't have.
True.
Done them. Even if you are
I
a
totally
widow,
agree.
that's not the end of your life. Somebody says, what about widows? Even if you're a widow, the worst part of your life is behind you. It's not in the front. The best is still in the front.
Hallelujah.
Repackage if you want to remarry. There's nothing wrong with it. Widow or widower or a single parent. That's not your life. You can decide and you can choose to remarry. Of course, it has negative impact. I told you two parts. The
Yeah.
positive, the negative
And the
impact, very,
negative.
very, very little. Energy can be dissipated and used for the wrong
Yeah.
things. Boredom, which can lead to frustration, thoughts of giving up or quitting, nagging, fighting, arguments, physical abuse, and then domestic violence. Woo! So,
Wow. Wow. That was full. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pages from all you have said.
really?
Thank you so much, Mommy. That was really
You're welcome.
insightful. So I have, like I said, so many questions, but I'll start off with the first one here. So how come marriages of many years have had issues in just a month? So we've been married. So the person said years, and it looks like we've been able to tolerate. It's like now that the COVID has started, that we now live together and we've stayed for 1 month. How come we are having more problems now having for the past 12 years of marriage?
Great. Because now you are facing reality. You are no longer in the world of escapism.
Wow.
You could escape to the office. You are no longer in the world of transferred aggression, where you
Wow.
can shout on the house help, or you carry your pain to the office or to your marketplace or whatever. Now you face your reality.
Wow.
Your reality. But you see, maturity is the ability to manage closeness without familiarity.
Wow.
Let me say that again. Maturity is the ability to manage proximity without familiarity. And who is a true friend? Someone that knows where you stink and yet is faithful.
True.
Many things that some of you have been avoiding, sores that you have covered up, wounds. Now you don't have a choice. The smell will ooze out. Things will show now because now you are in the same space. So if you didn't handle it now, you will still have had to face it. But maybe it will have been too late. Maybe when you are now old, because every marriage goes through 5 stages. And the final stage is the gracious stage. When you have conquered, you have conquered. You have seen the sea, you have seen the world. Now we are back together. That's why you see old people. They sit in the front of their houses. The world is passing, gray hair, both of them. That's why you must marry your friend. Because it's the issue of your life. Sex will not be the main thing now. Some generators will have packed up at that time. So it's not about sex anymore. It's not about children. And the children, they are married. They are gone. It's not about children again. It's not about accomplishments. You have accomplished. It's the time when you have consolidated to enjoy. But if you don't take a good care of communication and friendship, 25 years down the lane, you will be lonely even though you are two. You'll be lonely.
Wow.
Because while you were growing up, you put things between you emotionally. You put children. You put business. You put the office. So see the hand. You are stretching it. But the gap built over 25 years. So that's the reason. And you better face your fears now. Yes, maturity is the ability to manage proximity without familiarity. Yeah. So face your fears now. Now that you are quarreling, instead of quarreling, why don't you, manage your life? Sit down. Why do we quarrel? That means these things have been there. We just didn't have enough time. We were always in a hurry. Hey, I'm going to the office. Hey, I have a meeting. Hey, I'm going to Germany. Oh, I'm going to... Now, face me, I face you. How? Let us talk.
Wow.
Let us talk and dig deep, excavate, and see how it goes.
Wow, awesome. Great response. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure that would help the person. Okay, so another person said, how she build resilience at such a time like this, especially those at long distance relationship? At least I know more than 3 people who have been stuck because of the COVID. So how can they build their relationship on this?
Okay, I see someone is even asking you, what about if the person, when I was talking, what about if the person is not a Christian? Religion, belief, faith, they play roles in your marriage. So please, if you're not yet married, marry someone of your faith. It will tell tomorrow. Okay, my husband and I have been married 35 years.
Wow.
He travels, I travel. This is not a lie. I'm telling you this. When my husband travels, we speak on the phone every day, not less than 20 minutes, 20 times, beg your pardon. Sometimes we speak 50 times. You won't believe it. 5.
Awesome.
Hi, darling.
Awesome.
I'm going to the bathroom. Okay, so don't call me now. Okay. Hello, Dad. What's the password for that thing? No? Okay. Dad. Oh, yeah. CNN. Connect. Okay. Dad, I'm in the market. I'll call you. Dad, I'm inside Walmart. Hey, what is it?
Wow.
Do you like this thing? If MTN or our whatever should show you our log.
Call history.
Befriend your spouse. So the world is not getting larger. The world is becoming smaller. And that's an advantage.
True.
If you have a long distance relationship, what about technology? FaceTime, Zoom. It doesn't mean you have to sit down like this. You can be cooking, you can be washing, you can be, but you're building. You may not understand it, but you are building. Communication is key. This day you put sex, baby mama, and all that. No, the God that created it, he knows what he's talking about. Build your marriage. Build your relationship. Communicate. Whether it's long distance or short distance. Out of sight can be out of mind. It's not the devil. No, not at all.
Deep. Thank you, ma. Okay, another person said, is it ideal as a woman or as a lady to pursue your career first and be independent financially before going into a relationship?
There's nothing wrong with it. We were raised to believe that a woman should not have her own. Search the scriptures. In the book of Esther chapter 2, they gave Esther her own. The Bible says her own. The woman that broke the alabaster box of ointment, that's the reason why she didn't owe anybody an explanation. It was her own. So we've been taught that a woman is inferior. She should not have her own. Show me the scientific fact that a man's brain is superior to a woman's brain. Show me that the color is different. Show me. No. So there's nothing wrong with you having your own. In fact, it's a good thing that I will encourage you to have, because these days, there's no man that can adequately provide for every damn thing that you need. And you don't want to be a parasite. No, you don't want to be. It's not a great life at all. It's not a good place to be. It's not. You need your own. Even if your husband can afford it, he doesn't need your own. At least it is your own. It is your own. There's a psychological feeling to it. So must you take permission before you give? You want to give to God, or you want to help a widow, or you want to do something? You must always. It's conditioning. Conditioning. So there's nothing wrong. If one of the ways by which we will be able to reduce domestic violence is this. When each person has, because some men beat their wives out of frustration. Don't kill me, I can't do more than this. And then the man realizes, oh, I'm so sorry. But he's frustrated. I'm not justifying violence. I would never justify it. But we need to start looking at the root cause. What causes, this thing? So it's good if you have your own. But make sure you don't walk in pride, whether you're a man or you're a woman.
Wow, awesome. Thank you, Ma. So another thank you so much, Ma. I was just talking to people and saying that due to this, we would plead to have mommy back again at her best convenient time in the nearest future, because it's obvious so many people have questions for you and you have lots of answers for us, Ma. I know that we have taken a lot of your time, but if we could just take maybe few little more time, if mommy does not mind, please.
Okay,
people
go ahead.
In online. Thank you so much, Ma. So another question that I have here is, what encouraging words do you have for a single parent at such a time as this?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people. So leave the atmosphere of guilt. Thank you very much. Atmosphere of guilt. Oh, I wish. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, see my life. Oh. Stop thinking about what you see. Start thinking about what you want.
Wow.
So you're not the first person to be a single parent, for crying out loud. You made the mistake. Fine. Sometimes you didn't plan it. It happened, or you planned it. It was an error. That's fine. You have cried enough. You have labored over spilled milk enough. Move on. Please, I beg of you, move on. Repackage. Repackage your life. Reinvest into yourself. If you need to go back to school, why not go back to school? But please repackage. That's your child or your children. You don't have to take them everywhere where a man can meet you and they say, you have this baggage. No, repackage. In fact, let single ladies compete with them. Compete with them the way you will repackage. Look good, encourage yourself and all that. And trust God to give you a man. But while you are waiting, please stop crying. While you are waiting for the man, build your life in such a way that the man will meet you not as a parasite, not as a baggage, not as an excess luggage, but as someone that can add value. So begin to call forth destiny out of your life. Many preachers condemn single moms. No, I don't condemn you. We all have made mistakes in our lives. Your own may be that you got pregnant. My own may be another thing. So true. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's condemning you here. So please just understand that life does happen. It has happened. Move on and trust God. Repackage, rebrand yourself, and God will give you. I've seen people, God does miracles. He will give you, stop crying in the house. Mix, and get something good with your life. Repackage, yes.
Repackage. So someone else sent, there's another question on my list, is couple counseling helpful in abusive relationship? So the explanation she gave is the fact that, most times when you go for counseling, it looks like there's stigmatization around it. But what do you say to her? Is couple counseling helpful in abusive relationship?
Now we have psychologists, in fact, Christian psychologists. So this is not about just going to your pastor. That's a mistake we've been making all the while. Your pastor may not be the best person to counsel you in an abusive relationship. Number one, because he's not trained in it. Number two, because he's never experienced it. So you might want to spend some time, some money, some effort, because destiny is not cheap. Google it and locate psychologists that can help you. You might want to go look for someone that does not know you, who will be objective enough. Pastor, I am not a pastor, I'm a pastor's wife, but we don't know everything. We don't know everything. I'm still in school. So you can't put everything on your pastor, all the baggage and all that. Pay some money, look for professionals that can counsel with you. There's no stigmatization with such people. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a high performance coach, certified. So it's part of our training. Nobody judges you when you come like that. But your pastor can say, hey, sis, are you singing the choir? You sing in the choir. And you see, hey, you beat your wife? Oh, no, we're suspending you for the next, There are trained counselors. If your pastor is one of them, that's fine. But don't say it has to be my pastor. Somebody was asking about destiny relationships. Yes.
So what she's referring to is, she said, Mommy, please talk about destiny relationship that has to do with Naomi and Ruth. You know, the story of how that led to her getting married to Boaz and all of that. So just because a lot of people abuse relationships and privileges. So she wanted us to talk about it.
Excellent. It will take us ages to finish it. You know that. We've been preaching from Ruth but each person stands in her class. Ruth and then Naomi. There are people that God will send into your life as destiny helpers. People come into your life for only 3 reasons. Number 1, they come into your life for a reason. Number 2, they come for a season. Number 3, they come for life. So you must know and define why each person is in your life, so that you don't invest emotionally and in all ways into the life of someone that is in your life just for a season, the way you will invest like someone that is in your life for life. So understand and define the relationship. Naomi was secure enough to let Ruth shine. Ruth was wise enough to take care of her mother-in-law. When Boaz gave her something to eat, she didn't finish it. She remembered the ladder, the one that connected her. So we have mentors that eat up their mentees. Mentors that make their mentees feel bad and feel used. At the same time, we have mentees that abuse relationships and take, the relationships they have with their mentors for granted and never return to say thank you. So we need to balance the two. Destiny relationships will accept you as you are, but not leave you the way you are. Destiny relationships will honor you and respect you. Any mentor that shouts at you, insults you, talks anyhow to you, no. The same thing, any mentee that does not obey your instruction, that won't listen, that is always talking, and all that. So we need to understand. Someone says, my husband comes home only once in a month. I don't know what that is. Thank you, Siriadio. So you need to understand that there are many things. At least there are 11 major lessons that I learned from the life of Ruth that I can't be, discussing here now. Each one will take me, So we just need to understand the balance.
Thank you so much, Mommy. We're going to take one more question. There's just so many questions. Like I said, we've pleaded with Mommy that we would have her again, and we're all going to pray and fasting. Mommy is going to
No, you don't need to go into prayer and fasting. I have agreed. Don't worry.
Thank you, Ma. Thank
You're
you so much, Ma.
Okay.
Because the questions are a lot. So for the next segment of this, we'll now ask those questions, because someone else is asking, how do I do with a man you're dating who claims to love you, but his actions speak otherwise and all? So, Mommy, while you take that question, we would say that you should please just give us a general motherly advice and blessing, and we'll call it a day, Ma.
Thank you very much. A man says he loves you and his actions do not show it. Number 1, it can be that he doesn't know and understand your love language. So you might need to teach him. Number 2, it may be that his background, he doesn't know how to express does not advance stress. If he's a good man and is teachable, don't forget a teachable ignoramus is better than a skilled rebel any day. So, but if it is deliberate, I love you now, I love you. He embarrasses you in the public, he shouts you down, you never find husband. You never find husband. I'm telling you. How Sunday will be, we start looking at it from Friday. You put one leg inside the river, crocodile carried it. So, please, if he's not teachable and he's deliberately trying to put you down because he's not comfortable with your success, because he thinks, let me clip her wings, let me show her, then flee for thy life, my beautiful lady.
Powerful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's been an exciting moment. Thank you so much.
Tell your singles to go register for singles. You know, I have a coaching program coming up.
No, okay, ma. We will do that. We will send it to our community women.
Yes.
And
it's on my Instagram page.
Okay, ma. We'll repost and we'll send it in.
And I have a coaching, in case you don't know, I have a coaching. Just ask my executive assistant.
I will.
Your life is going to, some of you see me only as a preacher. I am not just a preacher. I'm a certified coach.
Yes, ma, we know
and we are set for this journey. On the 16th, please go register. Go on my Instagram page. FF Adejumo is my handle.
Yes,
I love you too all.
Love you so much. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma. Bye. All right, guys, it was really an exciting time with Reverend Funke, full of wisdom. What? She is so full of wisdom. We're going to do this again. She has agreed for a second, for the second segment of this series. I'm going to be putting that up soon when we agree on the day and time. But I'm very sure that few of us, if not every one of us, has been blessed by all that she's been able to impact into our lives today. My prayer is that for all relationships that need to heal and all relationships that we need to connect with, I'm praying and hoping that we'll all connect with the right kind of relationships, especially relationships that takes us to the next phase of our life, next phase in terms of our career, not just marriage alone, all round, everything that has to do with our life. So like I said, stay tuned. Our next segment will be next week, Thursday. I'm not going to tell you who the speaker is, but we'll be talking about personal branding. We all need that in our lives, personal branding. I look forward to seeing you. Remember to stay safe. Remember to love one another. Remember to give at this time. And above all, continue to pray. God bless Nigeria. Remember to obey government regulations. God bless Nigeria and God bless the nations of the world. Take care and see you then. Bye.